Welcome back everyone to the Pineleaf Needles Railroad Challenge, where originally I was hoping to build the walls around the passenger area and perhaps get a start on the others. I am currently not getting any good ideas. One of the ideas that I did try out was, what if I used acacia and I created an outline here in the storage area? And I was thinking, great, it goes with the granite here. We can make plenty use of acacia because it's across the river and easy to get here. But I don't think it goes well here. I don't think it goes well here. Sandstone obviously would go here, but I was getting a little tired of sandstone. And yes, I may be able to find some way of making it look better and satisfy me, but I'm not going to be able to do that today. So therefore, instead, I think it's time to explore the north and the south directions, because I left those off after the early episodes. One of the reasons is I was anxious to get started, and the other reason is because the building area that was being used for Minecraft, there was a little bit of bug in generation that was causing some things not to appear. So I thought, let's wait for 1.13.1, and 1.13.1 is now out, so I can now safely head out in those other two directions. We'll start out here at the station, where I did finally get around to building parts of the outline for what will be going over the river, because that's an important component here. And what I'm doing here is I'm just building a little bit of a bridge here, so that's what I'll be doing for where the train crosses. Now I'll also have to worry about this section here where I'll be building the farm area, and I'll have to make sure that I have this to see that there is a good flow of water. I may have to lower down the river a little bit to make it a little bit deeper, because otherwise, if there is not a good place for the water to flow nice and cleanly, Mother Nature tends to destroy things. Yes, it's not a danger in Minecraft, but it would be a danger in real-world engineering. Heading out to the north, we of course first enter into the savanna area. And it looks like I'm going to have to build over quite a number of hills at the start, but that's really no huge shock. Oh, maybe I'll just plow through this hill right here, because this is not going to be a fun one to climb or to take down, but maybe I could tunnel through it. And let's see what goes up here. Up higher, up higher, up higher. That's of course assuming that it dips down after. Oh yeah, it dips down afterwards. All right, way down. And are we going to be soon getting to the first checkpoint? See, we're actually, well, we are starting to get close. And up here, we want to get up to 256, right about, oh no, right here. Yeah. There you go. 1, 254, 255, 256 is right here. Okay, so let us drop our first little point here. So this is our first location, right in the middle of a savanna. And I was talking about earlier having to, well, I know the first thing I'm going to have to do is to get rid of some lava, obviously. if it's going to start setting the place on fire. And hopefully the water can burn itself out. Okay, is that it? I don't think there's much else left on that matter. Let's see, axe. Alright, that takes care of the firefighting for today, so let's get back on track. We do have a bit of a watering hole right here, right next to our little checkpoint. I think you're supposed to build within a certain number of blocks of it. I have to double check what the original challenge said is how close you had to be to this point into it, because I may offset it slightly so we can leave the watering hole, because you wouldn't want to get rid of a watering hole for the same reason I didn't want to get... You don't get rid of a river when you're in the middle of a desert because you're going to be needing it. You might divert a river or do something like that for your needs, but you're not going to fill it in completely and get rid of the river. Let's see. Alright, we have a nice source of wool here. Of course, I didn't bring my shears with me, so I'm not going to worry about that for the moment. And you can see more desert down in the distance. This place really likes desert. They said, oh, let's give a real nice fun challenge here. Some lack of variety. Let's give us desert. But I'm certainly not going to have a lack of sheep in this area. And I heard some chickens, so we could have that something to do with what we're going to do. And there's a village. Is that a village? Let's see if that's a village. Actually, it looks a little bit more like a temple. Alright, well. It's seen better days, that's for sure. Yeah. The temple seems to have gotten a bit buried, but let's see if there's anything... Oopsie daisy. Well, there is that. Now, I wonder what was going to be down here. Oh, good. No mobs down there. That's good to know, because Speaking... Well, not completely without mobs. Let's see if I can... You! Stop it! I said stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Now, where was that skeleton hiding? Now, let's see what kind of goodies we have down here. Preferably without blowing myself up in the process. Here. Now, I find that when you're trying to go down one of these things in any type of sandstone or like that, I find insta-mine and stuff, very fast mining abilities, be a real pain. I guess if you're trying to dig out large holes and something like that, it's wonderful. That's sand. That's the last thing I need. Zombie flesh, fine. That, fine. A saddle. Wait. Sandstone. Well, I'll have to see what to drop here. I don't need that. I don't know if I have a saddle already or not. Obviously, I want the emeralds, because emeralds are always good. Actually, I don't really need zombie flesh, so let's definitely need the emeralds more. What can I give up for? I don't need a single arrow. Get the bones here. Good. Good. And finally set it. No. Protection 1. Yeah, like that's going to really inspire me. But that apple. Ooh. Oh, the orange terracotta. Well, fine. I'll just do that to the orange. Not my. Don't cover up my exit when I'm doing that. Good grief. And of course, I almost forgot, but no trip to a desert temple is complete without bringing home a nice supply of TNT. Well, I am not going to be able to take home everything, but I think that would be good enough. And just to make sure, in case I ever want to come back here, make sure it's not spawnable. Unfortunately, I can't take the chests with me. But I should remember next time that I might run to a little temple along the way and... Right. It may need to handle something. Now, where was I? This is the 512 point right on top of another sand dune. Didn't I have plenty of those before? Let's put our little marker here. Yeah, look at very, very steep sandy hill. Goes down again. I'm just going to have to take down the hill. There is absolutely nothing else for it. Because doing anything else sounds like it's going to be dangerous. Now somehow I got here because I wound up seeing the... Right, okay, because down there is that temple I was just at. And this is... Oh, that's just a rock formation? Okay, fine. So let's continue on this way, and it looks like we have something that is not desert up ahead. Up ahead we have what's either a swamp or a jungle, because there are vines in it. And I know there are vines in it because I saw some really nasty things in my texture pack. Yeah, here we go. The texture pack that's designed to eventually become the main one has a couple of things that aren't ready in it, and one of them are vines. Vines look horrendously undone inside the new texture pack, and that's why you occasionally see me turning it off, because if I ever go into a jungle or into a swamp, I have to turn it off. And that's why things look a little bit different right now than they may have done a few moments ago. But here we are in a swamp. The sun is setting. I'm in the middle of a swamp, and we have plenty of birch trees up it. Now I wonder, I hope that the station isn't too close to the location I'm at right now, because this looks like a really, really, really bad place to put a station. Actually, I got so distracted in finding the swamp that I had completely passed the marker. This is the third marker point right here, which is just before this monstrous piece of water, so therefore I don't have to worry about trying to build it in the water or anything like that, which is good. But that means I do have to build a causeway here. It's not going to be a case for a bridge or anything like this, but I think a causeway would be something reasonable. Now there will have to be a few culverts here or there, I'm sure, in order to help nice transfer of water back and forth. But that leads us right into some birch here. plenty of birch for sure. I have a feeling we're going to have a very, very birchy build in that area because I'll probably be wanting some variety. It would have been nice to be able to get some birch into the desert area because I am looking for light colors for that area, but it said right now I got acacia and all that. Okay, well, we've got some sheep here. That's good. Looks like this birch forest is going to be lasting for a while, which after all that desert and all of all that swamp, because I have two directions that are swamp, two directions that are desert, so a little variation for that would be nice. And the end of this line is right in the middle of this birch forest. That means I'll have to chop down a good number of trees to get here. And that's another thing that screams out, build in birch. Because if I'm going to have to chop down all of this birch, obviously I have to do something with it. And that thing to do with it is, of course, to actually use it for the building. And there are also plenty of flowers here. I saw some roses. I see the... well, whichever, are those peonies or something else? All sorts of things in the matter. So good variety there. So it's time for me to head back and get back to the central hub. Nice to be back home and in the new texture pack. Though I have no plans in going out and building in that direction until the new texture pack is ready for final release so that it will cover the vines. And it also, of course, eliminates that direction, which has the same problem because there's a swamp in that direction also. And of course, we do have our contract with the village that says we have to build in this direction first. And there is no swamp or anything like there. So this is actually completely compatible with the new texture pack. So I have no trouble going that way, and that solidifies that plan, even if it weren't for the contract. So there is exploring out in this direction, which I'll save for the next time I'm having trouble finding out what to do here. I'll have to save the walls for the next episode, though I will like to get the rest of the farm area done. Let's see because what I just need is to get some... oh wow, that is perfect. So here is the third area for the floor there, and some dirt. Here's some dirt. Now if I needed grass, I have some grass blocks because my shovel is silk touch, because that's the one that you get from the villagers in there. I may have to change some of this into gravel because in the areas where I'm going to be putting water, I think that gravel will look much better. Though I try to use gravel sparingly because gravel is a block that is going to be needed a great deal of, since I'll be using that as bedding all throughout the rail line. And I have a feeling that at some point I'm going to have trouble. Well, I guess I will use the grass blocks, and you could hoe through grass blocks as well as anything else. I'll just start spreading all over the place, but when I take the hoe to it, it's not going to be a problem anymore. There you go. A nice area of dirt. Just get a hoe and start plotting it out. But right now, I need to store away all the stuff I collected in the temple. Now I think of it, I think this section right here I'll make into a little court where you could purchase food, and that this area here will be the farm area, But here, this would just be a place to purchase food for the guests coming in and out, have a little something to eat. And here is where we grow the food that would be served there. And here's my little farm. What do you think? Yeah, awful. Really awful. Well, I think I will just harvest all that stuff, get rid of the melons, maybe even move the pumpkins so that I can have a little bit extra room over here and start that over again. Because I think it might be better for me to create a little pumpkin pie factory here, a little pumpkin pie store here. That way you come here, have a little pumpkin pie, have some pumpkins grown here. I'll create a little egg farm, and I shouldn't have too much trouble getting a good source of sugar. Thus, we'll have a pumpkin pie restaurant here right in the area. These will go with this orange. As for this right here, I think I'm going to think of something over the time between now and the next episode to see if I could come up with something better there. And if not, and I'm still stumped, then perhaps I could head south and take a look at what's beyond those taiga. Which one will I do? We'll have to see that in the next episode of the Pine Leaf Railroad Challenge.